Matthew here. I have the Jabra Elite 85Ts. These are the successors to the 75Ts and 75Ts Active. They sound really good. However, there's just one issue that I have that is probably the reason why I personally am going to be returning these. So this is my Jabra Elite 85Ts review. Stay tuned. When it comes to the case is decently sized. It's not super small like the AirPod Pros. However, it's not super chunky like, let's say, the Galaxy Buds Plus or the Galaxy Buds Live, which I left in my car. However, the case is a good size. I like that you can kind of lay it flat like this versus having on like the 65Ts or even like the AirPod Pros where it's got that rounded bottom. So you can kind of sit it down on top and let it just sit there. Also, that enables this case to have Qi wireless charging. They have the wireless charging coil on the bottom here. So now you can just place this on any Qi wireless charging pad and it will go ahead and charge wirelessly, which is nice. This case will also charge via USB-C. So as you know, I love USB-C, so I'm glad that Jabra has that. They did that with their Elite 75Ts, and so I'm glad that they have it with their 85Ts as well. The case itself, the hinge, I'm not a huge fan of the hinge. I feel like the hinge feels kind of cheap versus, let's say, the hinge of the AirPod Pros where you've got the nice little snap and it's open or it's closed. It's not in the middle or anything like that. Or let's say the Galaxy Buds Plus where, yes, the hinge is in the middle, but it also has a nice little snap at the end and it feels very sturdy. Same with the hinge, just like the AirPod Pros on the Google Pixel Buds where it's like a nice little click, open, closed. On this, it just feels very cheap and like it was a second thought. The plastic is thin and it feels very light. Just the lid itself feels very light, and when you open it, you can open it like this, but then you have to kind of push it to keep on going, and then you can kind of see it just, in my opinion, it's not very, as you can see, it kind of wiggles a little bit and you can kind of hear that plasticky, the cheap sound. So maybe it's just me, but anyways, I do like on this, just like the 75Ts, they have some really strong magnets to hold the earbuds in place. I know one of the main issues with the 65Ts was people would open up their case and the earbuds would just kind of fall out. But with this, as you can tell, let's see if you can hear it, they just kind of sit in place, and as you can see, they kind of just sit there. So that's really nice. I do like that. And of course, there's an indicator that tells you right here different stats, like if the earbuds are updating, if they're charged, if they're charging, stuff like that. So that's really nice that it has that. Okay, so enough with the case. Let's move on to the actual earbuds themselves. Okay, so the earbuds themselves, they're decently sized. They're not the smallest earbuds in the world, but they're also not the biggest like the Sony WF-1000X M3s, or let's say any of the Bose headphones, the Bose QC earbuds, or any of those. But they are considerably small, but they're not as small as, let's say, the Pixel Buds, or let's say the Galaxy Buds Plus. They're a good size, and when you stick them in your ear, as you can see, they kind of stick out a little bit. I know that a lot of times in pictures and stuff, you'll actually see the earbuds and they look very flush in the ear, but that's because if you go from the side, they do look flush in the ear. However, if you're not looking from the side, they do stick out just a little bit and they're a little chunky right there. These are a little bit thicker than the 75Ts, and the reason why they're a little bit thicker for the 75Ts is because they have an extra chip for ANC, or active noise cancellation, but we'll get into that in a minute. On with the earbuds themselves, the ear tip is a different design than what Jabra usually does. Usually they do kind of a circular ear tip that goes into your ear. However, they've changed that now, and I think they've tried to patent it or have patented this oval ear tip design, which I'm not sure why, because I think Klipsch has had oval ear tips in the past. But anyways, they do this because, like the AirPod Pros, these actually, they're in ears, but they actually sit right outside the ear canal, versus something like, let's say, the Pixel Buds right here, where these actually go inside the ear canal. The Jabra Elite 85Ts actually sit right outside of it. Yes, it goes slightly in, but for the most part, it sits right outside the ear canal. So it has decent passive noise isolation. But then when you add the ANC, it sounds even better. So on to the ANC. So the ANC on these is actually really good. I've had my TV on with these not in my ear, and then I put these in my ear and the ANC on, and it blocks out a good amount of noise. It's not gonna block out all the noise, and it's not gonna have as good of ANC as, let's say, like the Bose, but Bose, at least with their in-ear, are on a whole new level. With those, it sounds like you are just in your own bubble and you don't really hear a whole lot. These, yeah, you're kind of in your own bubble, but you're able to hear some of your surroundings. Some people might like that, some people might not. I don't know, like on a plane or anything like that, if this will be able to block out most of that noise, but just being aware that this isn't going to give you that super good ANC. I mean, it is a pair of earbuds, and those can only go so far. But anyways, the ANC is decent. It's not the best, but it is decent. I don't know if I would say it's the advanced Jabra ANC, but it is pretty decent ANC. There is also a feature that you can access through the Jabra, the Sound Plus app, that allows you to adjust the amount of ANC that you have on these, along with the hear through. So with hear through, you can hear your surroundings, and you can adjust how much you want to hear outside of around you through the app as well. Or you can just turn off ANC and hear through altogether and just use that passive noise isolation. So just being aware that there are 3 different settings. There's ANC, off, and then hear through, and then through that you have like 5 different settings for ANC and 5 different settings for hear through. It's good that Jabra gives you that customizability, especially through the app when it comes to these earbuds. When it comes to call quality, the call quality is decent. It's not the best, but it's decent. One thing that I thought was really weird was I was talking to a friend, and she said that I sounded fine, which was great. However, on my end, it almost sounded as if it was pumping sound from outside into the earbud while I was trying to talk. I'm not sure exactly if it's just doing a hear-through thing or whatever, or if it's doing that so that way I don't have to hear my voice on the call as well. But it was just, I just felt it was really weird, at least for me, to hear my surroundings while also trying to talk to someone. Okay, so let's talk about Bluetooth connection. These use Bluetooth 5.0, which is nice. I'm glad that in 2020 they're using 5.0. However, I will say I was laying in bed just listening to some music, and every now and then it would be like a quick little stutter, or there would be a little crackle almost, or if I was like listening to music and on a different app, Facebook and anything like that, I would just hear like this, it would just stutter just slightly every now and then sometimes I would just like, the music would stop and then play again. It was just really weird. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with these. I don't know if it's just my unit or if it's just the whole thing in general, but it was just really weird. I wish that the connection strength, especially with it being 5.0, was a lot stronger and didn't have that issue. Also, these use what is called a hero and sidekick, or a relay system when it comes to connectivity, meaning that the right earbud gets all of the signal, the Bluetooth signal from your phone or your tablet or your computer, and the left earbud gets the signal from the right earbud. The issue that I have with that, which is the reason why I'm probably going to be returning these, is that I can't use the left one without the right one. I can use the right one without the left one, but not vice versa. I tend to like to go to the store and listen to music while I'm at the store. However, I like to have one earbud in. Most of the time, it's my left one because my right ear is the more dominant ear, so I can hear more things. With this, I won't be able to do that. I can have the right one and the left one open, but I tend to like to have the left one. So I wish that Jabra would just have both connecting to your phone, so that way you can use either or. I know companies like Sennheiser and B&O have this as well, but then you also have companies like Apple or Google or Samsung that have the dual connectivity where it's both earbuds are connected to your device, so it doesn't matter which one you have in your ear, they will both work. And so yeah, that's just, for me, it's a huge issue, and probably the reason why I'm going to be returning these. I know I hate that, because if these didn't have that, if they both paired to your phone and you could use one or the other, I would probably be keeping these. But anyways, a cool thing though about these is that they use dual pairing. So what that is that you can pair this to two devices. Let's say your phone and your laptop, and you can be working on your laptop with these, and then all of a sudden you get a call on your phone and it will switch automatically to your phone so you can take that call. I really like that. I know that a lot of over-ear and on-ear headphones are starting to do that, and I wish more companies, more in-ear true wireless earbuds would do that as well. It's a neat feature. It allows you to not have to take out an earbud and answer the phone or anything like that. So it's just really nice. I like that Jabra has that feature. So there is a Sound Plus app that I mentioned earlier, and through that you can adjust your ANC level, you can adjust your hear-through level, but you can also adjust your EQ level. With that, you can do bass boost, you can do treble boost, you can do voices, anything like that. There's also 5 different levels or sliders that you can use to adjust personally or customize it yourself, different EQ settings. And I know a lot of companies that have that feature tend to use it in frequencies. However, I know the Jabra, the Sound Plus app, uses bass, mid bass, and highs or anything like, or trebles. And so I like that they clearly label it for people who may not know frequencies, like what frequency is this, what frequency is this, which one's bass, which one's treble, and stuff like that. So I like that Jabra clearly labels them so that you, as an average everyday consumer that may not know a whole lot about music, especially when it comes to frequencies, they can be like, oh yeah, I'm going to adjust the bass on this, I'm going to adjust the treble on this, stuff like that. I will say though that when I changed the EQ settings on mine, it didn't really seem like there was a whole lot of difference in sound. Personally, I'm not sure if that was, again, me or my unit or anything like that, but there just didn't seem like there was a huge difference on sound. I know with the Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus and the Galaxy Buds Live, they have a feature like that where you can change the different EQ settings, and it honestly makes a pretty good difference. But with the Jabra Sound Plus app, in my opinion, it didn't make a whole lot of difference. Through the app, you can also do updates, so you can update your earbuds as well through that app, and I know the 75Ts have that app as well, and through that update with the app, the 75Ts were able to receive an update to activate the active noise cancellation. It's not as good as the 85Ts because the 85Ts actually have a microchip inside the earbud, which is why the 85Ts are slightly thicker than the 75Ts that is dedicated for that active noise cancellation, or as Jabra says, the advanced active noise cancellation. Through the app, you can do updates, you can change your hear-through settings, your ANC settings, and your EQ settings as well. Okay, so let's talk about sound, because that's ultimately why most people are here, is to find out do these sound good, and are these worth $229.99? The short answer is yes, they are very good. They sound very good, decent. They have good overall sound. However, I will say that these kind of have more of a warm sound, so meaning that it's kind of bass heavy-ish. It's not like super bass heavy like any of the Sony extra bass headphones or earbuds, but it is more of a warm sound. So if you like something that has crisp mids and highs, or more of a balanced sound, you're not going to want these. You're going to want something else. But overall, these sound great. You have good bass to the point where sometimes, depending on which EQ setting you have, you can almost feel the bass from the earbud, and so that's really cool. I personally prefer more of a neutral sound where I can hear my mids and highs a lot, and I can hear them nice, crisp, and clear, but I also like to hear the bass as well, and so I like that there's bass here. I wish there was a little bit of more separation from the mids and highs, because at some points I will say the bass does muddy the mids and highs. So just be aware of that. If you are into bass though, these are going to be a great pair of true wireless earbuds, especially since the Sony earbuds and the stuff like that, like they're a lot larger than, let's say, something like the Jabra Elite 85Ts here. And so if you want something that's small, a little bit discreet, that's going to give you a lot of bass, these are going to be it. If you want something that just sounds decent, you don't really care about sound or anything like that, but you want something that sounds decent, these are really good. If you're nitpicking on sound, I would say stay away from these, because unless you're into that warm sound, you're not going to like these as well. They will be good, but you would probably like something other than these, like let's say the Sennheiser Momentum 2s wireless, or let's say something like a Bose or something like that. But anyways, overall these sound pretty good in my opinion. So the question is, are these worth the $229.99 that Jabra is asking for these? The 75Ts are, I believe, on sale for $159.99, and you get active noise cancellation. So if you're coming from the 75Ts, I would definitely say don't get these. Save your money, update your earbuds, get that active noise cancellation, and you'll be good to go. If you are coming from something like the 65Ts, or you've never dove into the Jabra true wireless earbuds platform, I would say these are pretty good. Yeah, they do undercut the Apple AirPods Pros, and in my opinion they definitely sound better than these, but they're considerably more expensive than, let's say, the $149.99 pair of Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus, or the $179.99 for the Google Pixel Buds. And these, in my opinion, sound very good. And so I would say that these are slightly on the more expensive side, but I'm glad to see that Jabra was able to add that active noise cancellation for under $250. So it's really up to you whether or not you think that these are worth the $229.99. Thank you guys for watching. This has been my Jabra Elite 85Ts review. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that bell icon to be notified when I post another video. Until then, everyone, stay safe. Peace.